There we go.
There we go.
We're back.
So they cut to us a little bit early, but didn't cut the audio to us early. But we're here in Taicang, China.
Once again.
Yep, for day 2 of the CROSSFIRE Global Invitational, and day 1 was a doozy, I tell you what.
A lot of epic matches, a lot of epic plays, pretty much back and forth. Maybe, what do you think was your play of the day yesterday?
Play of the day?
Yeah.
It's hard to say because I want to see, as you said so many times yesterday, we still haven't seen from the perspective of, who was it, ZDD?
That's the one I wanted to take.
Oh.
No, it was ZYK.
ZYK.
That's the one I wanted to take, the 4K.
Right, but we don't exactly know what it... Oh, the 4K at port.
Oh, you weren't talking about that one?
No.
That's my pick. You can't take that
Oh,
one.
you're right. Port at B B when they come through the doors.
I'm guessing that one's the most epic one of the day because that was crazy. It was
Could
such
be.
a fast 4K.
Right, it could be, or it could just be that they just literally lined up for him.
Yeah.
It's hard to say, right?
Well,
I want to see it.
Just to set the tone for you guys, basically it was port retake from ZYK from Pacific Makta. He had an M4. He got a quick kill right as he was coming in. Maybe, I think it was on the big box. And then I blinked, and there was 3 more kills on the scoreboard for him. All headshots, just like that. It was insane.
It was absolutely crazy. But depending on how that one looked, I might... If you're going to take that one, then I can easily default to the Chong R play.
Oh, what a beautiful play that was. That 1v3, Black Widow.
And all headshots.
All headshots.
Basically one-tapping everyone.
Yeah.
Except for the spray down through the box, which was also a headshot.
Well, that still kind of counts as a one-tap because it was through the box.
Yeah.
You can just say it was a one-tap.
It was dirty, to say the least.
For sure.
But there were plenty of good plays. We saw, 18 with a nice 4K there for himself.
Yeah, that is true. Positional play was on point there.
Play, yeah.
Not so much like the marksmanship, you could say, even though, he did hit all his shots. It just wasn't pretty. You know what I mean? It was just It was great flank from him, great timing.
And as we see coming up on the screen now, our schedule for the day, we are going to start off with a big match, PENTA versus SV, and we'll see. It's going to be a rough match for PENTA to try and bounce back from, but it would do a lot for the standings if they could pick one up there. SV in great position as we would expect, followed by TGF and Rude, SV and TNC, Boss, OPK, which is also an important one there, and then Flipside versus Cherry Stars. Which one are you looking forward to most today?
Well, the most competitive one I'm probably looking at would be the OPK versus Boss.
Yeah, I agree.
That's the one I'm wanting to see just how it's going to turn out, honestly.
Then we will see PENTA versus Boss. PENTA playing 3 matches today, along with Flipside will also be playing 3 today. So some teams had the long day yesterday, one of which was Pacific Makta.
And what a day they had.
Speaking of games that will be super interesting to watch, in the second half of our day we do have Makta versus TGF, which will pretty much decide
first place.
First place, you would assume.
Now TGF, they haven't played all their matches, or even they've played half of their matches, so they could still end up 2-2 and not even make it through the group. But they've
looked convincing.
They've looked convincing in all their wins, and so we're assuming they're going to be first or second in their group along with Pacific Makta. So that battle right there, we're looking at as the battle for first place for that group.
Yeah, it's going to have to be either Rude or Flipside coming through to be able to turn that around.
And it would be exciting to see an underdog come up like that.
Flipside is 0-2 now.
Yeah, so they have 2 matches for the day, I guess.
Yeah, they could at best do 2-2, so they're going to need some help for somebody to bring TGF down to 2-2, as they have lost to both TGF and Makta.
Yes, sir.
I'm not sure. It's going to be hard. Pretty much Rude has a shot.
Pretty much overall, F3 has to have a miracle to let them go through. Rude has a shot for sure because they haven't played TGF yet. And
their one loss is to Makta.
Yes, okay.
So Rude's the only team really with a chance to upset Group A, but Group B is wide open.
Absolutely.
Crazy wide open.
First place isn't definitely taken yet, but obviously SV is probably going to come in first place here.
Right. They've looked pretty uncontested in their 2 wins. That being said, we did see OPK look pretty good against them.
Yeah, they did pretty well. But
down the stretch, the lead kept extending, and it looked pretty convincing by the end. But
yeah,
definitely better than you would have anticipated by any means from OPK.
The early rounds definitely were not always in OPK's favor, but it was pretty consistently in OPK's favor.
Yeah.
They got the numbers advantage, but they just couldn't clean it up.
And it looks like we're about ready to get into our first match of the day. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Penta roster. Niels, Loons, FaZe, Blame, and Awesome. And I believe you were talking to Niels a little bit earlier, right? And
yes, and he was saying that Loons is feeling pretty sick right now. He's throwing up, feeling a little bit under the weather, so that is the reason why he wasn't performing up to par yesterday. And so here we got Awesome. His stats, he's looking not too bad. 0.75 KD, could be better, but could be worse. He has at least one multi-kill there. We'll count on that.
Yeah, you also have to remember that Penta's one game was, it was versus TNC in a loss. But Blame really was the man who looked.
Yes, I was saying I was looking to him to really shine and show up because he's been showing up so many matches lately, and he did.
Yeah, it was definitely does. He was the man of the hour there for Penta. They couldn't quite get it done.
And actually, Niels himself, has been, his aim has been improving a lot lately. He's been hitting a lot of flashy kills that you see on Facebook if you follow him on Facebook, and he showed up in that match as well. It's just FaZe. FaZe had a problem with his mouse, is what he said, and he said he's gonna make sure it's fixed for this one. So we're looking to FaZe to really step up.
Yeah, I mean, you only get that excuse once, so we'll have to see. But I was about to say, yeah, I mean, yesterday it was pretty clearly FaZe and Loons not performing.
100%. Loons is usually a steady fragger for them, not usually just at the top of the charts, but he's always there.
Yeah.
And he's just, he's able to clutch it out. He's a smart player. And then you got FaZe. FaZe is a flashy player, at the top of the charts a lot.
Right,
and just to see him scratching the bottom just was
uncharacteristic.
Yeah, that's a better
we
word.
did see it. We did see it a bit when he was on Flipside, but I think that was indicative of some larger issues, right? And but yeah, definitely going to be hard for Loons to bounce back, especially now that he is feeling ill. But he looked pretty good this morning. He doesn't look like he's going to be
pretty chipper.
Right, too devastated by it. Awesome, I think probably had some of the bigger impact frags, right?
Not so many of the amount of frags that he had. It's not so much about the amount, but yeah, he did definitely have some impact frags yesterday.
They're up against the terror of China, SV,
terror of the world.
Mzin, WQ, N9, 18, and Anka. And they've looked as good as they ever have. I mean,
for sure.
Anka, the new addition, sitting at 1.5. That's plenty, right?
I'm just going to guess that all of them are sitting at about a 1.5, to be honest. Yep, 1.2, close enough. Over a 1. He started out in his first match not doing so hot, WQ. Wasn't looking too great, and then the second match he just showed up and he cleaned up. He was wrecking. He got like a 1v3, and I think he had one more clutch there.
Yeah, the 1v3 was really nice.
And just to point out, on WQ, he had 19 headshots out of 23 kills.
That's a little absurd.
Yeah.
Mzin, the only man looking to go under 100, but that's okay. If your leader and your shot caller is the only man under 100,
and you're winning by that much.
Exactly. Well,
basically around. I didn't even think. I thought he was doing great. Great. That just shows like the way he was fragging. He was getting impact frags that were just making you think that he was going overboard and killing everybody.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean, you definitely felt 18's impacts on those matches. We pointed out the 4K he had, but I mean, even if he had not picked up any of those kills, that play was what won them that round. Just getting in behind the defense like that, or the offense.
They had the ace side, but he just came in from behind
and pushed them into his own team.
He just smacked them around. He was like a bulldozer. Yeah, he was just running behind, not stopping, just running right into them, spraying.
It was a good play, and Penta's going to have a tall task ahead of them to try and bring themselves into contention here in Group B. They definitely are not out of it if they lose this match because of the parity that's going on in Group B. But if they want to keep it in their hands, they need to win here.
Oh, yes, for sure.
If they win out today,
this is interesting here, though. I'm wondering what map Penta will choose to ban. They said they are feeling really weak on port, so I'm looking for a port ban here from them, probably.
We do see the Mexico ban come out here from
That's a classic,
SV. Yeah, I think against SV, I'm surprised they didn't. That's devastating. I was going to say, I'm surprised they didn't ban Black Widow.
Well, overall, it is pretty fair to ban either Black Widow or Ankara because both are very tough against Chinese teams. And I'm wondering why they chose Ankara. I'm guessing it's more of a personal point of view from them. Where they think, okay, our Ankara is weaker than our Black Widow. Let's leave the Black Widow wide open.
But you have to say they were probably hoping for the luck of the draw onto sub base. We're not going to get it. We're going to be on Black Widow, which is always fun to watch. Super standard. And as we check over the map here, if FaZe is feeling good, maybe this long A area becomes more contestable here for Penta.
Oh, for sure. If FaZe is feeling good, he's a stark contrast to the type of operator Imzen is, so they'll make different types of impacts. FaZe will be jumping around, just getting some crazy, flashy kills that'll maybe upset the momentum that SV have or don't have, and that's the kind of player he is. Whereas Imzen, he's just, steady fragger, always in the right spot, right time. And I'm guessing we won't see a lot of sniper battles between these guys because of the stark contrast between their styles. But we'll see how this goes. It'll be interesting on the sniper battle part. Yeah,
for sure. And especially, I think it's important here for Penta to try and find picks on some of the key members, right? I mean, it's important to not let N9 be the last man standing.
Yes, you got to pick N9 out first if you can, which is tall tale.
Easier said than done.
Easier said than done, yeah.
But I think it's interesting because we do see SV is going to be on Global Risk, right?
Yeah.
So how does that? What is your strategy coming into this as Penta then?
As Penta, well, I would say SV, the reason why they even chose GR is because they just want to come into this and set a pace. They want to just be calm, collected, and let Penta know that no matter what they do, whatever they come up with, SV is going to come out on top of that.
Hold that thought for now. Let's go ahead and get into it. Penta versus SV, first match of the day here. Yeah, so then what do you do to upset that pace that SV is trying to set here as Penta?
Well, what I'm going to guess is that SV is going to take some map control, which they are already doing, and Penta actually picks out one on long A, but you can see SV up here on Cat, and what they're trying to do is they're trying to set the tone and take some map control. So what you got to do as Penta is you got to aggressively take something. Don't let them just set the tone, set the pace. You got to do it right back at them. Be aggressive.
There that was too as well. Pick on long A, they're from FaZe.
And didn't get picked out themselves. This is a good start right here.
Yeah. We did see Emzen missing a couple shots there through mid, trying to, but he did get the information that Niels is playing over towards this gully area. And N9 creeping through the smoke as it's dying, but is going to get one tap there by Blame. A really nice shot.
Blame with these entry frags lately. He has been really stepping up. He had a lot of trouble in the past few months, just really showing up every single game. But so far, he's only played 2 games, but these entry frags he's doing against great players too. It's just, I love to see this. This is a perfect play from him. Yeah,
he's definitely looked to have the best aim on Penta yesterday.
And he's doing his job too. He's an entry fragger. He's supposed to be getting those just start off the round. I'm the one going to get that pick, and he's doing that.
They've put themselves in a 2-man advantage here, and it does look like they are going to go ahead and move in towards boxes here, which could be rough depending on how this entry goes. And it just can't find it onto double Q.
Ooh.
And Anka going to get a 4-piece for himself.
Wow, what an unexpected. They knew they were going to be on the box room. They knew they'd probably be on it. That's a common spot.
Exactly, right?
They knew that. I don't understand how they missed. Maybe they were flashed. I'm unsure, but wow. FaZe, he's not stopping. He's coming back from yesterday. His mouse is feeling fine, but does he know?
He has no idea.
Imzen with great positional play, as always, but Imzen doesn't even know where he is as well.
Is he going to get around the corner?
He's
got it around the corner.
A classic FaZe play. Just hopping around, just making the right plays, even on accident. Great.
Like 2 ships passing in the night.
Yeah,
we've seen a couple of those
too. I'm understanding it now.
Yeah. So he's got only 10 seconds. He's going to have to plant here at A, and we'll see how. That's
not
terrible
bad.
news.
That's not bad, actually. He has no clue. Oh, he saw the gun barrel.
He got vision. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
Well done there by Emzen.
Easy
you have to say a little
him.
bit of luck coming into it, but he did check B on his way around, right? Sure. So probably had a pretty good idea. Well, can you get up the box there?
Well, I would say it was a little bit of luck coming from both sides, though. And if I were FaZe, I would have opted to plant on triple or near triple, because that's just a safer spot. Whereas when you're right there, you have no place to get out if he's close up, which you did learn.
That's a good point. We are going to go ahead and jump into round 2 here, and it is going to be this time Emzen going to get the better of them there. And he's looking for more. Can't find it on the Niels, but Niels doesn't get it.
Oh my goodness!
The
Being a
repeat.
clinic.
Oh, he had a shot there at it, but awesome caught him, did catch him by surprise, and that's going to even things out a little bit here. But 18 getting aggressive with N9 at his back, and it will be N9 going to pick up another one before WQ gets traded out, but only Awesome left alive. Going to make this a pretty easy one.
And I will say this, it's a quick change up from SV. If you notice, they only sent Imzen down cat this time because the last time they went down, they were not challenged. And so they were like, okay, if they're not going to challenge us, we'll just send Imzen and have no one to protect him, and we'll make sure we take long. And that's exactly what they did, and it worked out.
Yeah, and those are the exact shots he missed last round. Emzen had a shot
again,
at 2
coming
kills.
in, taking phase out.
And that's important, right?
Yes, it is.
Ooh. They know where he is, they just can't do anything about it.
And the thing was,
that Loons does dink him there with a headshot.
If you look where FaZe died, FaZe was actually prepared for where Imzen was coming from. He was watching the crack, and Imzen just outshot him there.
It's not something you want to see if you're a Penta member, but it's still early on. They've got plenty of time to turn things around here, and they are, of course, on Blacklist side, so still got a little bit of time to get things rolling here.
For sure, for sure.
But
and if I were them, you know what I would be doing at this point is I want to take Cat away from Imzen. Imzen is making too much of an impact right now. Nobody else so far is doing anything. I mean, they are all fragging, but the impact that Imzen is making in mid-round needs to be stopped.
The question is, will he be there next round?
Probably not. If I were SV, I probably wouldn't send him there again. I would send him toward B probably and just have them snipe the people going toward B because they continue going toward B and they're going back into box room again. Is it going to work out for them this time? And it will. They get the trades. They actually get a 3-for-1 trade. Beautiful play from them.
Oh, but that door.
You got to take out N9 together. A 2v1 here, but not impossible for N9.
One of the most terrifying places in Crossfire is that door.
For sure.
And N9 did get vision there onto Niels. He isn't able to find a shot, and the bomb will go down. They're in decent post-plant, but N9 has an idea of where they are, and that smoke might even help him. As he's going to come through, and it will be Loons who takes him out with a headshot. Good round there from Penta in the end, coming back from the...
Loons 4-2, showing up today.
And 3 of them were in that round.
Yeah, he wins them a vital round. It's just like I said, he's just their solid fragger, smart, intelligent player, and he'll frag when he needs to frag.
Yeah, so it's good to see from him that the illness probably not having as much effect as one might be afraid it would. And it does look like they will go ahead and pick up the bomb here, but nothing too aggressive off the start. And like we anticipated, Emzen completely changing his style.
Yes, he's actually, it looks like he's under Cat right now. Just watching Dog, which is the other side to the other side of the bridge, the Cat. He's just watching that for now, just seeing if they're going to push up mid, because he assumed that they would try to take him out on Cat. Right. So that is why he's watching that. It's an intelligent play from SV again.
SV does take control of long A, though, and they're getting quite a bit of information from that. Anka flashed out here, but WQ behind the box looking to make a play here. Doesn't seem like Penta has really committed yet to this play, and it's going to be a difficult one for them if they come in too foolhardily.
So it looks like they have figured out that they're not playing box room this time, but they're hesitating, and they're kind of peeking. They're now going into box room, but they were peeking, trying to pick them off of the site, and they couldn't. They weren't. SV just wasn't peeking, and NLS dies because they don't peek together. They don't jump out of the window together. It's just a one-on-one thing. You can't do that with SV. You need to have team play, peek together. Let's see if
that being said, it was a great flash there that completely flashed out Loons as he was trying to come through. So maybe Niels just had to end up being the sacrificial lamb in that situation.
The only one not flashed.
Right. Essentially, they do get through here, and they're going to jump through before the smoke is out. Emzen does miss the shot, though, and in fact, it's going to be Loons who takes out 18. And Blame getting another one there onto N9, who is looking to lurk around behind. And this should be a pretty free cleanup there, and it will be Awesome who does so.
That was a great take by Penta. They just methodically figured out where SV was playing, and then took the site in accordance to what SV was doing, and it worked out perfectly.
That being said, SV had so much information in that last round. They held long A the entire time. They knew that nothing was happening A. I'm surprised they didn't rotate one off of that long A hold as they continue to hold two there and try and get somebody in a more defensible position? Or is that just not something that's really viable?
You are correct, but the thing was, they went ahead and they left Cat open, thinking that Penta would take control of Cat. And when Penta did not take control of Cat, they assumed, okay, they're probably waiting outside a long, or maybe they're just sitting back and we don't want to push because they're not taking control of anything. We don't see them anywhere that we're peeking out, we're prodding out. And so that's why.
Oh, and also, there we go. The double op setup here for Penta going to pay off in trade, but it will be Blame who takes a whole heck of a bunch of damage. That's not English, but it was a lot of damage. And that's going to give a slight advantage here to SV, but nothing insurmountable. Although they will now know that they're most likely running the double op, as it was Awesome who got that first kill.
In SV, they're pushed up Cat right now, so they do have a lot of information, but this time they did not take long A. So they're just changing up their strategy over and over. Sometimes, they're taking Cat and long A, sometimes they're taking just Cat, and here they go. The Cat push, it's working out. N9 all the way pushed up, and Penta, they just weren't expecting that. So N9 gets 2 of his own, and 18 gets another.
It's always so impressive when you see those two working together, 18 and N9. They're just... It just feels like they're two parts of one whole when they play together. They
really do, because so often in the past 2 to 3 matches that they played, N9, whenever he's lurked up into a position, he's together with 18, and they both frag. It's never just one. It is always both. One getting a double kill, one getting a single kill, something like that. Always.
And definitely something that Penta's going to have to watch out for, but they've definitely kept themselves in it here, as it is only 2-3 here, 1 point advantage for SV, and they are on the global risk side. If Penta can keep this pace up, looking like it's going to be very tight moving into the second half. But definitely have to keep it up here against SV, as we've seen it slip away from many teams before. And as we see them head out onto the map here, Bomb is going to be left way back at spawn. It will be collected now by FaZe, but not looking like Penta wants to get too aggressive, although that being said, Niels gets traded out for 18. And again, it's N9 and 18 trying to play those exact same positions. They get somewhat punished, but N9 able to trade it out.
Well, I like the way that Penta... Oh, what a shot from N9. Beautiful headshot. 2 bullets, so clean. And he's still going aggressive on this. He has no fear here. He knows that there's one probably B connector right now, and he knows he has his help in mid as Double Q is near mid doors. But now they're backing up, and Penta, they're going to try to get Cat control back. But Cat control back from who? They've fallen back off of Cat. Well, actually, N9 looks like he's still top of Cat. He's going to peek them. Let's see what he can get here. See what he can work out.
Oh, my goodness.
He almost lined it up for the collateral there. That would have been detrimental to Penta, but Penta at least come out on top of that.
But even to get one in a 3v1 scenario where they're all 3 guns are facing your direction, it is quite impressive from him, and it will be Mzin who picks up loons to end the round. That's going to take us to a 4-2. So still not out of touch here. I think Penta needs to stay in touching distance before they change sides, in my opinion.
And this shows you the difficulty of playing against SV. The way their defense is just flowing, they're changing up styles. They're just doing so many things, and you can't predict what they're going to do. Penta's doing a good job of adapting, but you can only adapt so much. And here goes the fight on the long A. Just trades going back and forth, but 18 just coming up huge here, getting double kills.
Yeah, I mean, it's that duo again, right? It's N9 and 18 coming out together.
And once again, a double kill and a single kill. One from a little bit from each.
Yeah, that 3-for-1 going to be hugely helpful as Mzin comes to fill in. Oh, that grenade not necessarily landing where he wanted it to. But it won't matter in the end as 18 picks up another one. 4 on the round. Niels, great headshot there, going to pick up Mzin. But the round is cleaned up in turn there by Double Q. Great round there from 18 and N9.
For sure.
I mean, it was a duo play. N9 got traded, but 18 did plenty of work in exchange for his life. And that will put us at 5-2. Big round here for Penta. They need at least this round, at least one more.
For sure. And it looks like they're going to opt to go toward B again. And we're looking at the same setup as that first round they tried to take B. So let's see what they can do about this. Now they know they are probably here. And maybe they're going to nade them out. No, they're opting to nade, look like door there. And SV is getting a lot of information as to where they are. And the rotations are probably going to happen pretty quick. They need to take these guys out in box. bullets are just flying back and forth. And they do take them out. Can they get double Q, though? He gets one magically somehow. As he's dying, he pulls out a bullet and just throws it at their head, and they're all lit. Penta is all lit. They are in a 3v2, but the thing is, they're all one bullet.
So low, and N9 is alive.
The two
this
heavy
is the exact play we saw Chomar make really yesterday.
The exact same positions, pretty much.
Exact same locations. Everybody is in the same locations.
But nobody's peeking. This is smart from them.
Oh, he's got one.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, that was scary.
What a quick flick from N9. Almost, he put one bullet right where the guy in hell was.
Yeah.
And he flicked up and killed the guy above him. If that bullet had connected, that would have been the greatest play I've seen him play the last year.
And it also would have been Chomar's play in reverse.
Yeah, and even a little better with that flick if it would have been.
Yeah.
But still, he didn't pick it up, so all props to Penta there.
Yeah, and again, another huge round for both teams. It's only one round, but going into side change, to me, the difference between 6-3 and 5-4 is enormous.
For sure, mentality-wise.
Right.
Even just, it's only one round in both ways, in a way. But at the same time, if you just see a 5-4, you're like, damn, this is a really close game. And it gets SV as well. And if it's 6-3, you're like, I mean, we're doing okay, but they're kind of far ahead. They only got three rounds to go, and then we can only tie it. And then 4 rounds to go, and we lose.
Yeah. I definitely agree. But 6-3 is not undoable here for Penta, but they need this round if they want a real shot at it, in my opinion. And, it's really the only thing that's worked for them is this B push, and they seem to have tunneled onto it pretty hard. Although SV's not predicting that they're just going to tunnel into this, although they're gaining so much information there from N9.
Rotating over. This could be bad for Penta. They've got a weird stack on the back box in the back.
It's coming out, but Loon's going to get a double kill, and that will get them onto the site. But those doors, never safe to cross, and the C4 does get across there in Loon's hands. I wonder if they don't have a smoke for that door. If so, Emson is in such a great position on this retake as N9 comes around the back. And it doesn't look like they've seen him there. But he's not. He is going to pick one up there onto Awesome, and he will have his position known. And now it's only going to be Emson with the pistol. He's going to take out the op and look for one and then get back behind cover. It's going to be difficult, and he can't find it, and it will be Loon's. And huge round win there. Getting that 5-4 we wanted to see.
Exactly. Great play from Penta. That SV even partially stacked the site and had really fast rotates because they had N9 pushed all the way up Cat. And he could easily rotate behind just like he did. But Penta still pulled it out. That's a great play from them.
Yeah, I mean, we saw, I think all 4 points were onto the B site. And I don't know if that was just SV unwilling to make the read, but Penta's really only having success on that B site, or if they just thought there's no way that they're just gonna.
There's no way they keep going B. I know I've had that
run
thought.
It down B.
I've had that thought for sure. But I will say this: in SV's head, they went Cat once. So if I was SV, I would have definitely stacked toward B. I still don't understand, even though you have the thought, there's no way they keep going B. They're not going to do that again. You still want to kind of stack toward B, and they did the last round a little bit, and they pushed up Cat and everything like that. But the round just went in the favor of Penta anyways.
Yeah, it was a big swing there for Penta when, I mean, it was in danger of getting away from them, but they string 2 rounds together there at the death.
And that's what you want.
Yeah.
If you end the round, or in the half, even if you're losing the half, in your favor, just win the last 2 rounds, that's beautiful. And Imson, though, with a vital pick on DeLunas, who was extremely important in all the round wins they had.
Yeah, he's having a great day for himself, and that could be vital for them. And just cut out at the very beginning of the round, jumping through those double doors. And we do see some smokes come out. What is that smoke right there? That is an interesting.
It's so he could. It's to cover the Cat entrance, and so that they can't see him going into C as easily.
And Em's going to pick up another one on Niels, getting aggressive, and that's going to put the 3-on-5. What do you think of that? Well, I guess the first kill wasn't off of aggression, but what do you think of that play from Niels to try and push up Cat like we saw from N9 on a solo Rambo type mission there?
I mean, it's not a bad idea. But he didn't push up Cat. Actually, what he was doing was he was in B connector, and he rotated off of B connector toward mid,
Okay.
which I'm unsure of why he did that. He could have just stayed B connector. Yes, they're not pushing B, but you have an important position. You could even solo hold B long from there, get early information. So I'm just unsure as to why he was over peaking.
In the end, he does go down for it, and it does look like B hit could be on here. It's not at pace though, and we do see some grenades thrown on Cat. Could be a bit of a distraction here for Penta as the B hit is coming out now, and it's pretty much uncontested except for. But trade's coming out. Blame into a 4 versus 1 could be impossible here for him as 3 peak together, and N9 gonna get the kill there. And that will put us into a 6-4 situation.
It was just picks all around the map from SV right there. The first kill was just unlucky for Penta. That over-aggression there by NLS, which he thought, it's not necessarily a bad idea for him because he thought he was just in a good position. He was catching them off guard as they were pushing A. But, yeah, it was just the picks worked in the favor of SV. That's all that was.
Creeping down mid. Waiting for maybe the smoke to come clear, and then, Loons in 18. Danger close.
Oh, no.
Will anybody find it? And in fact, it's going to be lots and lots of kills coming in favor of Penta. Blame with a double for himself, and only WQ alone here on the A site. But it doesn't really help you if you don't have the bomb.
Penta are doing pretty much exactly what SV were doing the half before, but with more aggression. They're collapsing on places instead of just sending like one opera down Cat in order to pick people off. What they're doing is they collapsed on Cat and mid at the same time. They did it perfectly. What is this? Ooh, I thought he almost had that. I was about to say, what is happening here? You shouldn't be able to even have a chance in this round.
I was about to say they were playing it really well. They knew exactly where he was, and there was no reason to get aggressive. They had his position located. But, at the same time, if you peek together and jump like that, you should be able to get it. But WQ almost making the magic happen and turning something into a 1v2. N9 going to get the opening kill there onto Niels, who hasn't had the best second half so far. Been caught out a couple of times early in the round. And we do see the C4 moving towards long A, although it is a 2-3 split currently, but doesn't look like they're trying to get too aggressive. Although that being said, finding that kill on the site could open it up, and they will go ahead and move through here. And this is going to end up a really interesting play as SV is spread out all over the map, and N9 in a great position to do some damage. And he does find one onto FaZe, he finds another onto Awesome, and he's looking for the third onto Loons, but Loons is able to trade it out. Unfortunately, he's the last man standing, and WQ cleans it up.
I'm pretty sure WQ 3 kills this half, 3 headshots already. This man is keeping up his record of headshots. He wants this.
Right? Is there the golden headshot award at the end of the tournament?
Maybe.
A really interesting round there from SV. It looked like they were just picking around towards A, but then once they found the kill on there, they just said, well, might as well walk their way onto the site. And Penta had no information on how many were actually coming in there.
Yeah. Exactly. And when I find it hardest to play against a Chinese team is whenever they just spread out and just do aggressive pushes all over the map. That's honestly when I find it the hardest to play against them because it's really hard to predict for one, and then they're also individually good.
I mean, how could you know that N9 is
exactly. And they're also individually good at positioning as well. And N9, that positioning was just
WQ with a dunk there onto Loons, but it's going to be a 2-on-2, and Emzin had a chance at a really nice shot there. He will go ahead and pick up the bomb. And again, it's N9 and Emzin. We've seen this quite a bit from them. And Emzin going down there. They will see the bomb drop, but they have no idea where N9 is. This is doable.
Positioning again.
Niels and N9 in the one-on-one. And you have to say, Niels not necessarily favored here with how we've seen the previous rounds go out.
Well, not even just that. He just has no idea, I think, where N9 is. And so no matter who he is and how he's doing, if he doesn't know where N9 is, which N9 is taking long enough to where he can kind of suspect that maybe he's coming from this spot. So NLS does have a greater chance now because N9 didn't make a move soon. And yeah, look at this. He's already taken some shots. He's taking some damage, but it doesn't matter. N9 still comes out and just pops him in the head.
Got to get them headshots because SV will. And all of a sudden it's 8-5. But that being said, we saw Penta string some rounds together towards the end of the half last time, and that's a big miss there from Emzin, but FaZe misses himself. N9, it looked like he had a shot at N9 as well, and also misses that one. So rough rough bit of action there for FaZe. We'll see if he can't bring it back later in the round. But that does put SV really back on their heels. They're all at spawn, and Penta's been able to take a lot of map pressure. Pretty much only WQ has some information towards them.
But it looks like, well, maybe they're going to be pushing up Cat here. I was about to say, if they're going to take this map pressure and get no kills off of it, then what is the use of the map pressure? So they are smartly just kind of falling back off of B and leaving one person there so they don't have to waste too many people. What should I change my mind?
Right,
they're coming back toward it. Let's just see what this stack on Cat can do for them, though. They have 2 on Cat right here with 1 on behind Train as well. And is SV going to be peeking Cat, pushing Cat? Looks like they're just going to be going for a pick here, not necessarily pushing it. And Awesome, he picks off 1 on Emzen. So it's not working out for SV here.
Always a nice kid to get onto Emzen as try and cut out that leadership. And doesn't quite take much damage from that grenade as he sees it coming in, but definitely going to see a firefight as we've seen so many times in this stairwell. And as it's coming from the flank as well from WQ, and Anka going to pick up a double and
a triple.
Looking for 4.
Oh, a 4. Don't tell me he can get this unbreakable here. And I don't think he has any idea where Niels is. Yeah, it's not quite in time, but if he gets his 5K, this will be the first ace.
That's true.
And this man has also had another ultra kill in this same match. So far, that hasn't happened this entire tournament. This guy is putting in a clinic this game.
It does look like 18 might have gotten some vision on him, and it does appear that Niels gets that one, so Anka's in great position for it.
But he can't connect on the shot.
And now it's a 1v1. WQ.
Almost.
Saving it at the death from what looked like huge. A free round there for SV, but that does, in the end, put them at 9-5.
Props to NLS for being able to pull out those 2 frags in that 1v3 too.
Absolutely. It looked for all the world like Anka was gifted it there.
Yeah, he just could seem to connect on the shot, I guess.
And match point. Only one round here on the defensive side for Penta so far. We're going to have to string 4 in a row together against SV. Not the easiest thing to do. They do at least have the defensive side to work with. It's much easier to string rounds together on that defensive half. Excuse me. We don't have a cough button, which is unfortunate, but so I apologize to
I didn't even think about that. That's probably actually a thing, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Oh, wow. But at least Penta here, they've got a good plan for this defensive setup. They are taking good map control, and they're being patient. They're not overextending themselves, getting picked off. And they have a lot of information here, but SV, they're kind of avoiding the radar. They're just kind of sneaking up along, just slowly working their way up, inching bit by bit, just to see what Emzen can do.
The TNC strat.
Yeah.
Just let Emzen creep, and then
may take Lunas.
Give him a bodyguard and WQ, which is a role that WQ is so good at. And now they've got so much information. Trades are coming back, but it's a 3-on-4, and they do have some idea that now SV has gotten cleanly onto this A site, and 18 trying to pick him all up, and it's into a 1v2. Niels has another chance at the clutch, but only able to find 1. And what was looking like a close match all of a sudden just devolves into a 10-5.
Yeah, I mean, the thing was, the first half, it definitely looked like Penta would have a real chance to take it. But once the GR side rolled around, it was really just SV showing their superior, not necessarily strategy, but they knew what to do in every round. They knew how to change it up. So I wouldn't necessarily say it's strategy like, throw a smoke here, do this, do that. No, it's just like they know how the momentum of the game is going. They know how to set the pace. They know how to keep the pace going in their favor.
I would say what I noticed was a lot of reactive play from SV.
Exactly, yeah.
They'd go and poke and prod around and just see what they found, and then immediately adapt what they were going to do according to that. I mean, we saw it in that last round, right? Look how much space Emzen just starts taking with WQ in tow, and then they just say, well, now we've got all this free area onto A site, and they start performing that pincer onto Penta, and it works out in the end, and they pull out the 10-5.
And that's exactly why it's so hard to beat SV. On defense, you notice how well they were able to just flow their tactics and just change to this, change to that, and they're good at all of it. And yeah, the half was close for Penta, but still, like, you saw what they were able to do. And then the next half, they don't even necessarily need great strategy. They just kind of go out on the map, slowly inch their way around, work into where they can pinch somebody. They find little openings, boom, boom. You can't give them any openings because then just 2 shots, headshot, you're done.
That being said, the wait for the first ace here at the CFGI continues.
It really does. Every time I mention it, they just can't seem to clean it up. They can't seem to
that
bring
was
it out.
hands down the closest one we've had.
For sure, for sure.
Hands down.
He had the shot. He had the opportunity. He even had, he put like, what, 10 bullets into it, like around him?
Right, exactly.
He painted a picture of him. He was Picassoing it. But
exactly.
He just couldn't clean it up and get the headshot.
That's unfortunate, but we still have plenty of matches to go to find that ace.
But player of the match for sure, Anka. I mean,
yeah.
Just because of the flashiness of what he did right there. SV pretty much all played good, except for, I'd still say, except for a couple of rounds, Imzen is still not showing up on the frags.
Early.
Yeah.
Early, he was putting so much pressure into Penta.
And that was good, but overall, if you're just going to point out anything about any SV player right now, it's just like, the KD from the matches before. And yes, he's the leader, I know, but
you're right. If you have to have somebody under fragging,
yeah,
then it's fine for it to be Emzen. But you're right. It's something you can look to target, especially with a team like just thinking further down the line in the tournament, as this does take SV to 3-0 and pretty much solidifies their place in the next round. You have to think of things about like Makta, right? With somebody like Revenge. If that comes into play later down in the line, where Emzen is the weakness that you can target as SV, a team like Makta might be able to do that.
Exactly. And Penta, just to point out, Lunes, he was doing a great job.
Yeah,
he was winning them a lot of rounds.
Really bounced back.
Yes, for sure. And all of them, none of them were really necessarily underperforming. They were all doing at least decent, and Lunes was the one that stuck out for me.
Yeah, I think it was a good match there. Penta still has plenty of time to bounce back, and they are by no means out of this.
For sure.
They're going to probably need a little bit of help somewhere down the line, but we'll have to see how these groups balance out as we move along. But for now, we're going to go ahead and jump to a break. When we come back, we'll have TGF versus Root Gaming, which will be another huge match there for Rude. We'll see if they can pull it out. But let's take a break.